Okay, so back working on the boat. Splash well is tabbed in at the back. Just have to tab in this join, fill this to glue it down, give it a clamp, hold it fast and tight, and then we can sand everything nice and smooth and get ready to flow coat everything inside. That was a little dodgy brothers experiment that I did, which I don't really like the look of, so I'm just going to do straight grey with some coloured flecks rather than the throw-on sand. I don't like the look of the sand. And then we can worry about marking out the holes for the outboard, which I've got. So might start sanding now so that we can finish glassing all this splash well in. Alright, so sanded this join, tapering it out 120mm each side, and over the edge you can see how it dips down to be filled with fiberglass, and then sanded after that fiberglass is set. The other side's the same. And then probably also put a bit of tabbing on the inside as well to help strengthen it. That's fiberglass now. Once that's set, we can then sand it flat. Same with the side. On the corners here, just going to put a couple more layers over the transom just to even it out and make it easier to sand this back part. Just flow coated all the top here just with a roller. Eventually one day I'll paint it all properly, so that's why I've just covered that bit that we glassed, but I'm not worried about here or the rest of the gunnel. The back's super thin, I just ran the extra out on the back, and I'll give that another coat in a second. But it's all fiberglass, all sealed, ready to go. Started sanding the inside, ran out of batteries for the grinder and just got sweaty, so gave up, but I'll continue sanding all the inside tomorrow, and then we can flow coat all that, and that will have a splatter over it all inside there. But out here I'm just happy to just leave it grey. It's probably going to get pretty banged up, busted up anyway. Weight belts and spear guns and whatever going in there when you swim back to the boat. So it's finally starting to look a little bit more like a boat with a bit of paint on it. So the reason why this is taking so long to sand is what I did to fully cure the resin, because it's unwaxed, laminating resin. I put PVA glue over the top, which is commonly done to seal it off so that it fully cures, and that will stop the sanding pads from getting clogged. But I didn't realize that the PVA glue was going to end up doing the same thing. So PVA glue is just as bad as the not 100% cured resin. So I'm going to leave it overnight, and hopefully 12 hours is enough for it to set a lot better than just 4 hours, and we'll see how it sands tomorrow. And if it's still bad, well, we'll just have to buy a bunch more sanding pads and suck it up and keep going. Alright, so yesterday sanded the entire floor and up the walls so that we can flow coat that. I've just flow coated that side. And now what I'm going to do is just, I've got a couple of different colours and some paper cups. I'm just going to mix up 100 mils in each with hardener, and poke a hole in the bottom, and then put dots all over the floor. I'm not going to worry about the walls because maybe one day later I'll build pockets and things along the walls anyway, so that can stay for now as just grey. But we'll do some dots across the floor and then we'll move on to doing this side. Alright, so that's the flicker on the floor, red, blue and like a dark grey. And then I did decide to flick some blue on the wall just to break up the solid colour a bit, but just one colour on the wall because I'll probably end up adding pockets, so I'll have to grind like 100 mil on the bottom just to reattach the glass to. So that's the pattern. Completely random, dodgy as, but it should be nice and grippy on your feet if you have a look down. So, start on this side now. Alright, so that is now both sides completed. So, splattered both sides. Red, dark grey and blue on the floor, and just blue onto the walls. And all the extra in here, I don't really care because you're never going to see that anyway once the lid goes on top of this. So now we wait for it to dry, and then we can flip the boat and fix some scratches underneath the boat, and then it can be ready to go on a trailer and start getting some things put on it: motor, steering, sounders, batteries, all that stuff. Here we go, just cut out the ply, the metal temporary lid until I make the proper fiberglass lid out of them sheets of foam and layers of fiberglass each side. Just make another short door for the front, and then the trailer's nearly finished. Had to make up some extra brackets and things for that, make it a bit stronger for the dirt roads. Other than that, it's nearly ready to flip over and fiberglass a couple of scratches that are on the bottom side, and then I can start fitting things so that we can water test it. Currently put some more fiberglass on the V of the boat, filled it, sanded it. Now sand the whole bottom and give it a coat of flow coat, gel coat. And then it can go back on the trailer. A bit more sanding there to do, but it'll be good once it's done. Extra glass right up on the V, so if you ever park it on the beach, run it up on the beach, then got quite a few layers there to wear through. Pretty much ready to fit everything everything as soon as the paint dries on the bottom of that hull, and go put the hull on the trailer first thing in the morning, and then we can fit the motor, fit everything up to it. There you go. It's in the water, it's running. Take it for its first test drive. So it turns out the leaves are a bit too soft for this boat. It's a little bit heavy, so what we're going to do is reshape the load carrying leaves so that they catch earlier, and that way it won't be so soft and rolly on the corners. So we'll see how that goes. Just going to use a pipe bender because we don't have a press. We'll see how that works. Whether it doesn't, we will take it to a spring shop. But get the load carrying springs to engage earlier so that it's not so soft. See how it goes. Alright, these springs are tensioned up, so the load carrying spring touches way earlier, and it's a lot stiffer. You can barely press it down now, which is good, because once this gets finished loaded with gear, it's going to be probably an extra 200 kilos heavier, so that's good to go. Still fitting out this boat. I wanted to lift the steering wheel up a little bit higher, so that's what we've got going on for now, because the floor is lifted, so the steering wheel needs to be lifted. Battery under the back there. Need somewhere to put the spear guns. Don't have time to fiberglass anything up, so just a bit of Sikaflex with ply for those, and we'll make that all look nice when we finish fiberglassing other things after this trip. But we need it ready for this trip, so this is what it's going to be running as for now. See how it goes. Alright, I think it's ready to go. 99% sure everything's working correctly. Take it for a couple more runs before we leave, but pretty sure everything's good. Registered, a few rod holders, temporary spear gun holders, seat, lights, revs, battery, all that stuff. Paint, good. Trailer's good. Outboard runs, serviced. Leg oil changed, impeller, thermostat changed. Actually didn't even have a thermostat in it. Just had the tip of the thermostat. And the actual spring and everything was gone, cut off. But it's all good. Just hosed it out so we can start packing my fire extinguisher just in case. Well, next time you see this, we will be using it at Cape Melville.